voice is an incredibly powerful muscle that we all use every single day. It can affect our success in meetings, interviews, conversation, connection, and it can even help us find and share more of our true authentic self. And I don't think a lot of people understand how it functions or even know that they have the power to build their own voice. Hello, my name is Carol-Lynne Quinn and I'm a vocal coach. So I work with professional singers, recording artists, speakers, actors, and wondrous humans just beginning their vocal journey. And it's pretty amazing watching other people find and be empowered by their voice. So the voice is a muscle, and we all know that muscles can be trained, right? They can be built. In fact, it takes around 100 different muscles to speak or to sing. So we're not simply born with a voice and that's all we get, but we have the power to shift it in a multitude of ways. Some of the artists that I work with have the most amazing, beautiful, powerful, wonderful voices are the ones that have worked it, built an understanding of it, started to trust it, and did not stop at, this is all I got. The voice is run by the laryngeal motor cortex in the brain. So that simply means it uses motor function. So that's similar to the muscles that we use when we learn how to ride a bike or run, snowboard, dance in the hallway. So you, no matter who you are, you can learn how to sing. And if that doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. But you can also learn how to speak. And I don't mean language, but I mean with power, grounding, pitch, control. One of the best ways that you can learn how to control your voice is by learning breath control. So a good example of this is with a client of mine when they were at a speaking engagement in front of 600 of their peers. So they were wearing their Fitbit that day and they told me they looked down at it and they noticed that their heart rate was 120 beats per minute. So that's a lot of adrenaline and heightened emotion. I'm sure all of us can remember a time when our heart started racing faster. Maybe we started breathing a little more shallow and our voice was getting a little shaky and trembly. But they remembered some of the breathing exercises that we do. So I want you to try this with me. Take a deep breath in. Release all of your air. Now, don't breathe back in yet, but hold it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe back in. Release it again. Hold it out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Relax your body. 3, 2, 1. Breathe back in. And release it out. Awesome. So they continued to do this while they walked up on stage, while they put their papers down and they grabbed their microphone and they looked down at their Fitbit and they noticed that their heartbeat was 82 beats per minute. So we have this incredible power and these tools to control our experiences. A more extreme example of how powerful understanding the voice and building the voice is in an audio recording that I'm going to show you right away. So this is a wonderful client that I work with. She's a mom, she is an educator, and she's a singer. And sometimes she loses her voice during heightened, emotional, stressful situations. So last year she was dealing with some pretty hard stuff and she lost her voice completely. But together we were able to bring back her voice using voice science and vocal rehabilitation techniques. It was pretty amazing. So I want you to listen to this.
I don't really have a low range. So If I tried to do a swoop, it sounds like this. Pretty much amazing because I have a full voice again. It's sore. My throat is really sore. But I do have a full voice again.
Now you might be wondering, how did they bring her voice back? What did they do? So I thought I would show you some ways you can work out your voice today. So let's just get grounded. You can either stand or sit, whatever feels natural. And I'm gonna remind you about that thing we did earlier. It's called a vocal vacuum. So take a deep breath in, release out your air, and hold it out for 5 seconds. Now you could also hold it out for 8 or 10 and repeat. And what this does is it actually slows down your heart rate, stops adrenaline production, and it starts to calm and ground you. The second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our pointer fingers and we're gonna put them behind our ears. So I want you to find this little divot or that little kind of hole behind your ears and press in and slightly down and forward towards your jaw. So you might be feeling a little bit of tension, a little bit of pain. That's quite normal. A lot of people hold that here, but just breathe. And you can either do little pulses, you could do little circles, or you could hold and breathe. But this affects our voice. It affects our vocal freedom and our tone. Awesome. The third thing I want you to do is a side bend. So you're gonna take a gentle side bend, and it's not about going really flexible, but it's more about connecting to your side body. So take your hand, put it on your rib cage, and see if you can feel yourself breathing into that portion. So this is important for singing or for speaking because it starts to expand the intercostal muscles, stretches the cartilage, opens up the rib cage or the home of your lungs so that you can breathe more. Feel that expansion. Awesome. Now swap to the other side. Breathe into this part of your body. And something I like to ask the people that I work with when they're working or loving their voice is to also maybe say out loud or in their mind, my voice matters. I deserve to be heard. My voice is good. I'm a badass, wondrous warrior. Whatever resonates with you, but there's power in the voice in our mind as well. So go back center, relax, do a little dance, relax those shoulders. And now we're gonna go into some sound production. So if you want, you could pause this video, go grab a straw and a bottle of water, and we're gonna build your vocal cord muscle. So you're gonna take a straw. Now the smaller the straw, the more workout you're gonna get, but I would start with a regular size straw at first. We're gonna plug our nose and we're gonna do something called a freedom slide. So freedom slide simply means you get to create your own pitch. Your body, your instrument, your voice knows what it can do and what it needs to do. So it could be a low slide, ooh, a high one, ooh. Or maybe you don't feel quite comfortable to do that. That's okay. You could also speak through the straw and that's gonna build your vocal muscle as well. Ooh. So I'm plugging my nose just so that I'm only going through the straw, but eventually you can unplug and make sure it doesn't go through your nose. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our water and we're going to build our lungs. We're gonna build those amazing lungs of yours. So we're gonna literally blow through the water like little kids. And we're going to take a deep breath and blow as long as you can. So maybe that's 10 to 20 seconds at first, but you can build your lung capacity and you can get it to 30, 45, maybe in a month, a minute. So let's try. Slow, deep breath and blow in the water. Awesome. The last thing we're gonna do for your voice today is we're gonna create sound through water. So we're gonna combine with the water blowing. Now I want you to imagine you're in a swimming pool, right? And you're trying to run through the pool. You're a lot slower in the pool than out of the pool because there's all that resistance from the water. So when we sing through the water, you're actually utilizing that resistance, and it creates back pressure, and your throat actually gets a nice massage. So it's gonna massage your throat muscles, and it feels really good. So just create some freedom slides or speak. Awesome. Now you've loved that voice of yours, you're starting to build the muscle, build your lungs, starting to connect more with it. So if you want to start training your voice, you can try this 5-minute vocal love workout for 5 times a week for the next few weeks. So I really believe in training the voice with a combination of science and soul. I love watching people grow when we do athletic voice science, like that water resistance training, straw phonation. We do a lot of exercises that build the vocal cord muscle, expand the range, build the lungs, shift the color and the tone, and so forth. But the really beautiful thing that I've noticed is that when someone's starting to build their physical voice, it usually coincides with them starting to build and uncover their holistic voice, their authentic voice, their courage. It takes a lot of courage to sing at an open mic or on a karaoke night or post on TikTok, perhaps speak at a meeting, in an audition, or on a date. Singing or speaking in front of others is some of the greatest fears out there. I can tell you right now, if we were live, I would be feeling a lot of feelings. So if sharing our voice with others has the power to make us feel so vulnerable, I've noticed and I've seen building our voice has the power to make us so much more brave and grounded and share more of ourselves. One of my favorite examples of this is of a longtime client. She is an executive in the corporate world. She's starting to build her own business. And she came to me about 10 years ago in her early 40s. She said she'd always wanted to sing. She didn't know how, but she was willing to learn. She also told me that she had previously taken lessons and she was told that she would never really grow and she would never hit a high C. Now, if you don't know what a high C is, it's simply kind of like a home run or a 3-point shot. So it's a gold note for a lot of singers. I was 23 and super feisty and passionate at the time. And I remember being at my piano and turning and looking and saying, no, that's not right. The voice is a muscle and muscles can be trained. If you're willing to show up, work hard, and be vulnerable. But yeah, we can build you that voice. We can get that high C. She would say that it wasn't easy for her. It didn't feel natural to sing, but she showed up every single week and she started to see little growth. And then in a few months, she actually hit that high C. And then in a few years, she started singing in front of other people. And now a few years later, she's writing her own songs and she just recorded her first song. I recently asked her, what has building your voice done for you? And she said to me, building my voice has shown me that I am so much more than just one thing. You see, she felt pigeonholed out of college as an administrative worker. She said herself that she put that label on herself too. But throughout the process of learning her voice and starting to claim the names, artist, musician, singer, she started recognizing these other parts of herself. She told me that when she started to think about becoming an entrepreneur and a business owner, she said that was easy, that was nothing, because she had already gone through this journey of finding other parts of her. She told me it also makes her sick thinking that she could have stopped before she even started because of what someone said, or perhaps because she didn't know that this is something that could be built. She now claims that she is both artist and business, and she thinks that's her superpower, and I do too. So hopefully today you're starting to understand and know that your voice can be built. Your speaking voice, your singing voice. The voice is a muscle, and muscles can be trained. And by building our physical voice, we can also build, uncover, empower the voice of our authentic self.